This is Nigeria Decides, and we are on the final segment of the show. Ahead of the rescheduled elections, participation is a concern. Some experts are concerned that the postponement will create voter apathy, and others believe, well, there would be protest swing votes due to the rescheduling. And joining us in our studio to discuss all of these and more, we have the Liberation Movement Lagos State Secretary, Iwinla Mustafa. Good evening. Many thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you.
We also have Adedayo Ayanfe Ajimuda, the Liberation Movement candidate, House of Assembly, Koshofe constituency. Good evening.
Thank you. Evening.
Now, first and foremost, when you heard the news of the postponement, how did that make you feel, and how do you think that would also have rubbed off on other Nigerians as well to cause, possibly, voter apathy?
You know, like the late sage Obafemi Awolowo said, he said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands at the moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the moment of chaos, controversies and challenges. When I heard of the postponement of the election, it was saddening because a lot of things, a lot of process has been put in place. Take for instance, one of my friends is getting married that same day. Now she had to postpone, reschedule the date of the wedding. And if you look at it, a lot of resources have been put into the weddings. A lot of people have put a lot of things into place just to achieve that particular day. She'll be looking at it from the stress that she has gone through and a lot of process that she has put in place. Now that will change our mindset about the election and say, it's not really worth it. Why am I going to waste my time? But for someone like me who wants to see a fair, free and credible election, it won't deter me, it won't stop me.
Now we know that postponement is not an entirely new thing. We've seen that happen in some of the other elections that we've had. So what's the potential of that postponement to cause voter apathy now? Because looking at it on the whole, one would think that in a democratic setting, you know, citizens are supposed to know better, don't you think?
Well, of course, for me, I strongly think that the postponement obviously caused a lot of, for me, voters' apathy on the part of the voters, because yes, lots of people lost interest in coming out to vote. But of course, however, I know that this will not be the first time there's going to be a postponement in our elections. I think the same thing happened in 2015. But of course, I think the greatest problem with this particular postponement was the timing, where people slept at night with the hope that they get up in the morning as early as possible to go perform their civic right, and waking up to a postponement news was a big shocker to Nigerians. The level we are right now in Nigeria, the fact that people are more aware makes it very sad for them to wake up to a postponement. But I tell Nigerians that as it is today, I think to get to the certain stage we want to be in this country today, we don't need to be deterred, we don't need to be discouraged. The postponement came up for some reasons. Yes, INEC said it was for weather reasons or logistic reasons, yes. But I think I'm just going to throw a blanket advice to Nigerians listening. This is the time we need to get to that Nigeria of our dreams. So don't let the elections, the postponement deter you. Come out and exercise your right to vote. It is your voice. But then I just hope that whatever happens comes this Saturday, we're still going to have a free, fair, and credible election.
Exactly the point. So. Now, some would say that, well, INEC is now doing a better job at bringing us up to speed on all of the necessary updates that we are supposed to be informed with. But we also know another school of thought to say, well, INEC gave us the confirmation up to the wee hours of the day before election that things are going to be gotten safe and right and elections would hold. Do you think for a second that most likely we wouldn't still be told the truth at the end of the day, because INEC, this wouldn't be the first time they're not telling us, coming up so clean?
You see, yes, the honest truth is I know that as much as the INEC chairman is trying so hard to put everything in place, I know very vividly that he's also under due pressure. There's a lot of pressure on him right now. So, but I just hope that right now is on a very hot seat. But I know that it took INEC 4 years to get to where we are today. I mean, for INEC to have had 4 years to prepare for this election, for me, I didn't see any postponement coming. But when it came, it was...
But these words now, with all of the updates, do you think these are assurances that would rub off well on the polity, the electorate, to ensure that, well, there's no need necessarily for apathy. We just have to come out en masse and vote?
Yes, like I've said, there's no need for apathy from any angle. Come Saturday, the election will hold. So that's why we just need to urge Nigerians to come out and vote. The postponement will not come up again. The elections will hold for it, because all the feelers from different angles shows that INEC is fully prepared now, and I don't think anything will deter the election.
I like your level of optimism.
Yeah,
and then let us talk about other things that we can do, because at this point you did note that there's the possibility that there is widespread apathy already on the part of voters. So what essentially should stakeholders involved in the electoral process in Nigeria be actively doing now to ensure that voter apathy is not the order of the day that will possibly record the highest turnout of voters this time around?
Well, I think that what stakeholders should be doing at the moment is doing a lot of sensitization and encourage the voters to come out en masse to vote for the candidate of their choice, because they've lost confidence in the electoral process, quite all right, but it's not enough reason for them to stop, because their vote is their voice, and you cannot afford to lose your voice.
Or how would you also react to moves by IPMAN telling its members to reduce the pump price of petrol from 145 naira to 140 naira during this period to encourage people to travel? As well, we've seen that some transport companies are also reducing. Yes, we see that some airlines, even up to 50% reduction on presentation of the permanent voter card. So all of these things, how do you think it's going to encourage the average Nigerian voter to come out and vote on Saturday?
For me, yeah, I think that is a very welcome idea, because what they are trying to achieve is to ensure that people don't get discouraged come Saturday. If the prices of fuel pump is reduced from 145 to 140, and we've seen transport companies slash their prices, everything is going into one same direction to ensure that people are motivated and encouraged to come out and still exercise.
Is it enough motivation?
Yeah, for me, it might not be enough, but it's still something, at least something very little that we should still appreciate.
Adedayo, now you're running under the Liberation Movement, and then you're running for the House of Assembly seat now. How much of an engagement do you expect from smaller parties, bigger parties, especially this time around, beyond canvassing for votes, but ensuring that this time around, every single voter decides to come out and vote? Because, yes, my colleague has said, well, we need to see an up in the numbers because our voter turnout is still relatively low. What sort of level of engagement should we have? Because no doubt we know that it is rubbed off wrongly, but having the reassurance from INEC is one thing, having the reassurance from political parties is another thing.
Election is strictly grassroots. Whoever is going to win election must have a strong footage at the grassroots.
My emphasis is on now the message beyond campaigns. Just come out and vote, really. Not we are giving you XYZ, we will do XYZ, but just come out and vote. You believe in our dreams, do come out and vote.
Because like one of the things that Liberation Movement we've been doing is that we've been preaching smart government to our people. And, because smart government that we're preaching is that we're preaching meritocracy, equality, and prosperity, gender discrimination. We're trying to stop something like that. So by the time we have been talking to the community, we've been doing one-on-one with them, trying to convince them beyond reasonable doubt that, okay, yes, there are incentives to make them come out. That is not enough. But people still need to hear from you that, okay, they have an assurance from someone who is at the grassroots. They don't necessarily need the president to come out to tell them that, okay. But once they have someone who is from their own constituency, someone who is from the grassroots specifically, who is coming out, they can easily identify with such person rather than just waiting for someone who is at the top to come and give them that assurance that on the election day that is